Hey guys, my name's Nikki and I'm going to welcome you here to Carry Grace. Alright, so today I am changing things up a bit, and instead of doing an actual cleaning video, I am going to be sharing with you my personal Flylady routines. Now, if you have been on this journey with me since the beginning, you know that I have really been sticking to the Flylady routines since, I don't remember if it was August or September when I started the Flylady's 31 Baby Steps. I went all the way through that, and then I have been incorporating the daily routines, the weekly routines, the zone cleaning routines, all of those things. We recently moved, and so my routines really needed to be revamped. I was having a hard time kind of making my old routines work in this house, but with some trial and error and just sticking with things, I have figured out what's working for me in this season of life, in this home, and so today I'm going to be sharing that with you. Now you're going to see me looking down because I am looking at my phone. I am now not keeping a paper control journal. I have all of my things in the Cozy app on my phone. Now this is not sponsored. I've talked about this a little bit before. I have been using the Cozy app for years, but I have only recently been incorporating my Flylady routines into the Cozy app, and I have all of my routines in here. So I'm going to be looking down at this, and on the screen right here I will have the screenshots of my phone kind of pop up right here so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, so if you are new to the Flylady system, I encourage you to go to the flylady.net and look at her routines. She has all the routines laid out for you. Morning routine, afternoon routine, evening routine. There's the home blessing routine, just all the routines. You can find them there. Now, I have found that the longer I've used the system, the more I have tweaked the system to work for me. I've got a video on how to make Flylady routines work for you. You can check that out. But I have revamped these and really made them work for you. I personally believe that the Flylady system, her routines are a good place to start. But I think that as you use her routines, you're going to find what really works for you. You may find that certain things on her list don't apply to you, they're not necessary for you, things like that. And I think it's very important for everybody to really make these routines work for you specifically. Alright, so my routine is probably not going to work specifically for you, but I do want you to see how you can make it really work for you. So that's kind of the purpose of this. Alright, so my morning routine, every day I get up and I get dressed. Flylady says you get dressed to shoes. Sometimes I do shoes, sometimes I don't do shoes. I don't like wearing shoes. Shoes make me hot, so sometimes I do shoes, sometimes I don't. It really just depends on what I'm doing that day. So you can do what you want to. The next thing on my morning routine is to make my bed. Then I do a swish and swipe. That is basically a quick wipe down of your bathroom counter and a swish in your toilet bowl. I do one bathroom a day. So I do one morning I'll do our master bathroom, and then the next day I will do my kids' bathroom. We only have 2 bathrooms in this house, which I'm a huge fan of, and so that is how I do that, and I find that every other day really does work just fine for us. I also start a load of laundry. I do this every single day, and then I check my calendar. Alright, so the next thing you're going to have is your afternoon routine. Now, you can have an after routine, you can not have an afternoon routine. It's entirely up to you. I personally just call this like my daily routine. I check it at some point during the day. Sometimes it's the morning, sometimes it's the afternoon, but I do check my Cozy app to see what we are having for dinner. And then I also, at some point, I zone clean every day for 15 minutes. I say every day. For me, it's usually on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, sometimes Friday. Just kind of depends on how the day goes, or how the week goes, I should say. All right, and then for my evening routine, and sometimes this is late afternoon, sometimes it's before bed, it really just depends. But we make sure that the load of laundry that I did that has been folded, I make sure that those clothes get put away. I also pack my husband's lunch, or make his lunch and then pack it, make sure that's ready for the next day. I shine my sink. For me, that includes getting the whole kitchen cleaned up. I shine the sink, and then I make sure that we start the dishwasher before we go to bed. I also check and clean floors. So I check our floors kind of at our entrance areas. And in the kitchen and like under the tables, a lot of times I will end up needing to do a quick vacuum in there. So I like to do that. And then obviously if we've had like a spill or something, I'll make sure I do like a spot clean. And then I like to do a quick tidy. And for me, this is like kind of my hot spots. I make sure that the kitchen counters are cleared off. I make sure that our entryway, anything that may have gotten piled up in there, is just put away for the day. And then I like to make sure that the blankets and pillows are tidied up in the living room when we're done in there. Sometimes that doesn't happen till the next morning, which is totally fine, but I do kind of just like to go through and do a quick tidy, because if I do a quick tidy, and this probably takes me 10 minutes. If I do this every day, I'm really staying on top of things and I don't have hot spots becoming like major hot spots. So that's how I handle that. And then I try to make sure that I go to bed at a decent time. Y'all, I am now 41 years old and I am finally realizing that sleep really is one of my best friends. And when I say sleep, I don't mean a nap in the afternoon. I mean actually going to bed at a decent time, then getting myself up at a decent time in the morning. It just makes for a better day. I'm a happier mom, a happier wife, and I am more productive. All right, so let's move on to my weekly routine. Now, in the Flylady system, there's what you call the weekly home blessing, and that is where you have like 6 or 7 tasks that you do that usually take you about 10 minutes. Now, these are things like vacuum, dust, mop. There's a whole list. Like I said, you can check out flylady.net to see that whole list. And then there are your daily focuses, which is like on Monday, you do your weekly home blessing hour. On Tuesday, it's like plan and pay day or something like that. Wednesday is anti-procrastination day. Thursday's errand day. And I believe Friday is purse and car day, where you clean out your purse and you clean out your car. And I may not have said those exactly right. Like I said, check her website. But I have found that for me in this season of life, there are certain things that they weren't really making a difference for me to have them. So I have kind of combined my weekly home blessing and my daily focuses kind of into one. So I'm going to show you the breakdown of that. I don't do my weekly home blessing all in 1 hour on one day. I kind of spread those tasks out. Now, one thing to mention is some of the things that are on the weekly home blessing hour I don't do, like empty the trash cans. Those are things that I have delegated to my kids. So my kids, they actually empty all of our trash cans like twice a week. Of course, they empty the kitchen trash cans daily, but then there's a few other things that I don't do them exactly the same way because I have delegated them. So just keep that in mind. Like I said, this is my routine and how I have made it work for me. And while I'm talking about this, I forgot to mention that also applies to my daily routine. So on my daily routine, you may have noticed that I didn't have empty dishwasher first thing in the morning. That is because that task has been delegated to my children. So if you have older kids, or maybe you have a husband that is available to help you with some things like that, don't be afraid to delegate. But if you do delegate these things to like kids or family members, whatever, you're definitely going to have to make sure that they are getting done. All right, so back to what I like to call my weekly cleaning and task list. So like I said, I've kind of combined the weekly home blessing with the daily focuses. So on Monday, I wash everybody's sheets and I clean showers. So one week I clean the master bathroom shower, and then the next week I clean my kids' shower. On Tuesday, I water plants, I dust, and then I clean all of the mirrors and glass. This probably takes less than 10 minutes for me to do all of that. On Wednesday, I vacuum floors and mop floors. Now, sometimes I vacuum on Wednesday and then I will mop on Thursday. But I have found that I kind of like doing it all at the same time so that on Thursday, I can save that day as kind of a project day or free day. So Thursdays for me are kind of a free day. If I've got projects that I'm working on, sometimes I've got, projects that I'm doing around the house, or projects that I'm doing for my YouTube channel, or whatever kind of projects, just something that I want to make sure that I set aside some time to do. I try to do that on Thursday. And then on Friday is when I do my grocery shopping and my errands. I have all of that combined. So that is how I keep up with all of my weekly tasks. Then I also have my list for zone cleaning. So I do 15 minutes a day, about 4 days a week for zone cleaning. I think I've mentioned this in other videos. Sometimes I do 15 minutes a day. Sometimes I do 30 minutes, 2 days. Sometimes I will do it all in 1 hour. Usually when I do it in an hour, it's because I'm going to film it and it just makes it easier to film. But I definitely make sure that I carve out that little bit of time each week to do my zone cleaning, and that makes a big difference. So for the zone cleaning list, just go to the Flylady's website. Again, she has the detailed cleaning list so that you can either print those out, you can write them down, you can put them in your phone, on your Cozy app, whatever works for you. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I just wanted to share with you what is working for me in this season of life, and hopefully it will inspire you and help you to sit down and really make these routines work for you. Like I said, the routines that the Flylady has laid out, they are great for a starting point, and for you, it may be that you do them exactly that way, and that just works. But if it's not working for you, maybe there's some things that you need to add, maybe some things that you want to take away, rearrange. Make it work for you, however that looks. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you're new to my channel and not already subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next week.